For years, my morning walk was my thing. It was my ritual. Rain or shine, I really believed I was doing the best possible thing for my health every single day. But then, my body started talking back. I had these persistent aches and a kind of deep fatigue that just wouldn't go away. I thought I was doing everything right, so why did I feel so wrong? Well, I was about to find out that the very habit I thought was my health insurance was actually filled with mistakes that were hurting me with every single step.
Seriously, I want you to stop and think about that for a second. What if that walk you take every day is actually causing problems? Because asking myself that one simple question sent me down this path that completely changed everything: how I move, how I feel, and how I think about one of the most basic exercises out there. The truth is, how you walk is just as important as the fact that you walk. And a lot of us, myself included, were unknowingly sabotaging our own efforts.
I mean, I was consistent. I was dedicated. But instead of feeling full of pep, I was dealing with this nagging knee pain and this awful tension in my neck and shoulders. It was confusing and honestly, a little scary. I started to wonder, is this just it? Is this just what getting older feels like? It turns out the answer was a huge no. The problem wasn't my age, it was my technique. And that realization was my wake-up call. I started to understand that walking isn't just about putting one foot in front of the other. It's a really complex, full-body exercise. And if you want to unlock all those incredible benefits, you have to treat it that way. First, I had to really get why getting this right was so critical, especially for folks like us. Okay, so let's talk about the stakes here, because they're pretty high. You see, after we pass 50 or so, our bodies they start to change. It's natural. We lose a little muscle, our joints can feel creaky, and our metabolism, well, it decides to slow down. Walking is the perfect low-impact answer to all of this. It keeps our heart strong, our muscles working, and our mind clear. But, and this is the part I was missing, it only really works its magic if we do it the right way. So, the first place I had to look was the absolute basics, the stuff I just took for granted every single day. It turned out the very foundation of my walk was cracked and I had no clue. Let's start with mistake number one, which happened the second I walked out my front door. I used to be in such a hurry. I leave the house and boom, I'm at full speed. But that's a huge shock to your system. My muscles were cold, my joints weren't lubricated yet. And the fix? It was ridiculously simple. I just started treating the first 3 to 5 minutes as a warm-up. A gentle, easy stroll to kind of let my body know, hey, we're about to get moving. And that right there, that's the price I was paying for being so impatient. By jumping right into a fast pace, I was basically inviting all those problems I was complaining about. The muscle strains, the joint pain, the fatigue. That little warm-up isn't just a nice idea, it's like putting on a seatbelt. It's essential protection for your body. All right, time for my next confession. My shoes. Oh my goodness. I'd wear the same old sneakers for everything until they were practically falling apart. I had no idea how much my shoes mattered. The moment I switched to a pair of actual, supportive walking shoes, it felt like I was walking on the cloud. Seriously, the pressure on my knees and back just disappeared. So what do you look for? Well, these 3 things are absolutely non-negotiable. The cushioning is your shock absorber. The arch support, think of it like the foundation of a house. If your feet aren't aligned, that problem travels all the way up to your knees, your hips, and even your back. And you need a flexible sole so your foot can move naturally. Please, don't skimp on your shoes. They are the single most important piece of walking equipment you own. Okay, so with the foundation fixed, it was time to look at the engine, my body itself. I started to realize that my gear was only part of the problem. The way I was actually moving was just inefficient. I was wasting energy and creating strain with every single step I took. I was a classic sloucher, head down, looking at the ground, shoulders rounded forward. It felt normal to me, but it was a total disaster for my body. The fix was this simple mental trick I learned. Imagine there's a string attached to the very top of your head, gently pulling you up towards the sky. Instantly, my shoulders rolled back, my chest opened up, and I was walking tall. It was amazing. And here's why this is so important. It's not just about looking better. When you slouch, your neck and back muscles have to work like crazy just to hold your head up. But here's the kicker. Your lungs can't fully expand. You are literally starving your body of the oxygen it needs for energy. The second I corrected my posture, I felt an instant energy boost, no joke.
Now here's a mistake I bet a lot of us make. My arms? I just let them hang there like wet noodles. I didn't get that a natural arm swing is what turns your walk into a real full-body workout. That swing gives you momentum, it takes some of the load off your leg muscles, and it even engages your core. You don't have to go full-on power walker, just bend your elbows a little and let them swing.
Okay, let's talk about a very, very modern mistake. This next one wasn't just bad for my body, it was actually dangerous. It's the habit that pulls our head down and disconnects us from the world right in front of us. Yep, I'll admit it, I was so guilty of this. I'd be checking emails, scrolling the news, texting, all while I was supposed to be walking for my health. Every time I looked down at that screen, I was undoing all that good posture work I just learned, so I made a new rule, a hard rule. The walk is a screen-free zone. The phone stays in my pocket. End of story. And this is why it's so incredibly important. It's not just about the next screen. When your eyes and your brain are on that little screen, you are not seeing that uneven bit of pavement or that curb or that tree root. As we get older, a fall can be absolutely devastating, and this simple habit dramatically increases that risk. My walk is now my time to be present, to look around, not to look at notifications. So with my form corrected and my phone in my pocket, I thought I'd cracked the code. But I soon learned there were two final crucial pieces to the puzzle, and they had nothing to do with the walk itself. It was all about rhythm, my schedule, and what I did after I got home. I used to be a total weekend warrior. I'd slack off during the week and then try to make up for it with one gigantic marathon walk on Sunday. But what I learned is that our bodies respond to consistency, not cramming. 5 shorter, 30-minute walks spread out over the week are so much better for your heart, your muscles, and your metabolism than one epic trek. It's all about building a regular, steady habit. And finally, I learned to respect recovery. I used to finish my walk, kick off my shoes, and just move on with my day. Now, I have a super simple 3-step routine. I always rehydrate with a big glass of water. I do a few gentle stretches to keep my muscles from getting stiff, and I actually build rest days into my week. Movement and rest are two sides of the same coin. Your body needs both to adapt and get stronger. So, after all of these discoveries, all of these little corrections, my relationship with my daily walk has just been completely transformed. It went from being this source of hidden pain and frustration to a genuine source of strength. And that's really the heart of it all. It wasn't some massive, complicated overhaul. It was just a series of small, mindful adjustments. Fixing my warm-up, my shoes, my posture, and my focus didn't just get rid of the aches and pains, it unlocked this whole new level of vitality. I now finish my walks feeling energized and strong, not wiped out and sore. I absolutely love this because it just nails it. It perfectly captures my whole journey. We tend to dismiss walking as being too simple to really make a difference. But the truth is, its simplicity is its genius. When you master these small details, you turn a simple activity into one of the most powerful tools you have for energy and well-being. So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you lace up your shoes and head out that door, which one of these changes are you going to try? Will you focus on walking tall? Will you leave the phone in your pocket? Your body is ready and waiting to soak up all the amazing benefits of walking. You just have to give it the chance to do it right.